Can you imagine a world where we wouldn't have to worry about climate change? A world where we wouldn't need to worry about our emissions and whether or not our town would be affected by the rising sea level? While we do not have the capabilities to reverse climate change, we do have the ability to reduce our individual impact. Sure, you can use more public transportation, ride your bike, and use more reusable grocery bags, but how much is this actually helping? Wouldn't you like to feel like you're making a real difference, a real change in the world? By introducing plant-based meals to your diet, you can help make this change. Introducing plant-based meals into your diet has also proven to improve your health. You'll not only be improving the health of our planet, but your own health as well. I completely understand that sometimes you get a craving for a nice steak dinner. I'm not asking that you give that up. I'm just asking that you balance that nice steak dinner with a plant-based meal the next night. We do not need to completely give up our consumption of meat, but we do need to be more conscious of what we are eating. Today, I will persuade you to monitor your meat consumption and to take the steps to change the way you think a meal should look by introducing to your diet one plant-based meal a week. I am sure many of you think I'm going to trying to push being a vegan on you today, but this is not the case. A vegan lifestyle is not suitable for many people, and it is more important to be consistent with your plant-based meals than going full throttle and then dropping out when you get tired of your new diet. As Amos Cameron, the author of the book, The OMD Plan, Swap One Meal a Day to Save Your Health and Save the Planet states, you don't have to be perfect, and it's not judgmental. All you have to do is try, and if you mess up one week, that's okay. You can just start back up the next week. We are not asking you to be perfect. We are just asking for your help. Climate change is an ongoing threat to our society, and we have the opportunity to reduce our impact by altering our diet. In the article, Analysis and Valuation of the Health and Climate Change Co-Benefits of Dietary Change, Springman et al. Write, the food system is responsible for more than a quarter of all greenhouse gases, of which up to 80% are associated with livestock production. Think about the greenhouse gas emissions we could reduce by replacing a few of our meals with plant-based meals. Springman et al. Go on to say, changing diets may be more effective than technological mitigation options for avoiding climate change. Us, changing our diets could have more of an impact on climate change than the technological mitigation. It's as simple as that. In an article titled, The Potential for Healthier and Energy Efficient American Diets, Sarah Reckamp and Patrick Canning discuss how changing our caloric intake in the form of meat, poultry, and fish from 19% to 14% causes the diet-related energy use to fall by 3%. According to Sarah Reckamp and Patrick Canning on page 4 of their article, the 3% reduction in diet-related energy use under the realistic healthy diet would be equivalent to taking 3.7 million vehicles off the road in the United States. To reduce our diet-related energy, all we need to do is to reduce our consumption of meat by 5%. Making a small change in our diet can create such a large impact on our environment. A common question people ask is, how do I get enough protein? In an article printed by NewsRx Health and Science, Professor Mortensen and PhD student Charlotte Vinther discuss the future of food. Researchers are turning to the sea to look for foods that will be able to sustain the human population, as these proteins emit less CO2 than the traditional sources of protein. If you're not quite on board with consuming sprat and mollusks, luckily for you, there are some other options. There are many plant-based meat options that look and taste like real meat, especially when used in things like tacos and chili. You could also increase your consumption of legumes. My personal favorite plant-based meal to make is a sweet potato enchilada. Even my husband, who is a meat lover, loves them. Going plant-based does not mean you will go hungry. As Amos Cameron says, the beauty of being plant-based is you can eat more food. I eat probably twice as much as I used to. I think that you will find that when you are fueling your bodies with the micronutrients that it needs, you will start to feel more energized and healthy. If you don't think you can replace dinner with a plant-based meal, I urge you to try to replace your breakfast or lunch. Oatmeal is a great filling breakfast food and is very versatile. You could add peanut butter and banana for an even more filling meal. Start small. Start with breakfast and see how that goes. Then move on to lunch. And then, when you are ready, try a plant-based dinner. I'm not asking you to change your diet overnight, but I am asking you to try to make one change a week. Once you are comfortable with your one plant-based meal a week, go outside your comfort zone and add another. Try to work up to the point where you are having one plant-based meal a day. It does not matter how long it takes you to get to this point, it just matters that you keep trying. We cannot afford to not try. We are on a deadly path when it comes to climate change. As the recent article in the New York Times highlighted, we only have 7 years to take action in order to prevent the effects related to climate change from becoming irreversible. Now is the time to take action, and every single one of us needs to be held responsible for our action. So I will ask you, what are you going to do today that will help reduce the effects of climate change?